Hey everyone, welcome back. As always, thank you so much for joining us. This is Miguel Antonio Barragan, aka Fight Fiend Migs, joined as always by my co-host Andrew Don't Get It Twisted Lapachet, and this is the Mad Boxing Show, or Mad Boxing for short. Thank you once more for joining us. We are recording this on a Sunday evening, roughly 24 hours removed from a fantastic light heavyweight championship fight that's going to pretty much kick off our show. Of course, everybody's talking about the results of Beterbiev and Bivol, results here and there, controversy, robbery, yada yada. Of course, we don't ever like to have a good fight tainted by poor judging, but it sure as hell makes for a lot to talk about, as we're damn sure. So we got plenty to talk about, of course, including that. Everything from the Canelo and Inoue co-feature rumors, supposedly, to the recent announcement of Fundora and Spence and Benavidez and Morrell on the same card. That's the way it seems, at least. So we got plenty to talk about amongst those topics, and of course, definitely want to get started on that. But before we do, Andrew, what's going on, dude? How you doing?
Hey, what's up, Miguel? I'm doing good. We were in Vegas. We were in Vegas. We were in Reno for the fights this weekend. Did good. Didn't do too good on gambling this weekend. No winning tails to come home with. I got a live bet on the football, but nothing too huge. Um, yeah, it was the Raiders lost. That's what I wanted to
Mm.
say. Yeah, the fucking Raiders lost.
Yeah.
That
Uh,
sucked. Did you see what happened?
no,
See, I'm a dick. I'm the one spreading the rumors, but this happened, eh?
please spread it.
All right. Minshew, our
Mm-hmm,
quarterback from last week,
mm-hmm,
he was benched, right? And the Raiders are doing bad, but I was like, really? Why'd they bench him? That seemed kind of fast, right?
mm-hmm.
Well, video was released last week. See, I don't get to see all the games now because they're
Mm.
in Las Vegas. And I refuse to buy the NFL ticket. Fuck those guys.
And rightfully so.
Yeah. And Minshew decided while he was on the sidelines, Miguel, that he would pick his nose and then eat it.
Uh, uh,
I think that's why he lost his job. I do not believe it was because of his play.
what? No,
Oh, bullshit. These are
dude.
men, dude. These are men. How's he gonna lead? How you gonna lead the team? You're fucking digging in your nose and eating it, you nasty motherfucker. You're a
Hey,
nasty.
that's the equivalent of Marquez drinking his own piss. He's trying to get the nutrients back
Hey,
into.
and you know what? If he was involved with the team might have issues with that man. But he's not involved. He is his own team, so he can do that. But when you are supposed to lead, you cannot be on the sidelines getting little protein bites from
His little trail mix in his
oh
nose.
fucking pig. I wanted him fired, Miguel. No, I didn't want him just benched. I wanted his ass out because the Raiders we don't need that. We got enough bullshit to deal with in our organization to have a quarterback sitting on the sideline doing that. Fucking guy.
Yes. I
Yeah, so
used to
it's
work with kids, and I saw kids do that shit all the time.
yeah,
That's
no. And you know what? And then the parents tell them, yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And then the parents tell them, and they're supposed to learn. This motherfucker's like 40 years old. He hasn't learned. Mommy and daddy never told you what's up there, dude.
yeah.
Mommy and daddy never told you why you get boogers. You nasty motherfucker. You get out. You're fired.
Uh, Damn.
Hey,
This is the
the
cutthroat
coach the
that Andrew is good.
the coach is a former linebacker. You
Mm.
think he wants to talk to some? You think the guy walks in the office, everyone looks at him with a straight face, bro, knowing what he just got caught doing on the sideline?
Maybe it's a nervous reaction to something. Like when he's nervous
He
and he's literally just like,
he better say something, but say it while you're on a new team. You're off this one. Gone.
yikes. Got
Yeah.
the guillotine real fast. It's like
Shit.
through an interception. No, I was picking my nose. Okay.
Yeah, you're fucking gone.
Damn.
Yeah,
That's
don't do that.
that's cutthroat. Yeah.
So
I mean,
fucking
for
Raiders,
for
man.
anybody else, any other players that you happen to be on TV, when you're out in the field, chances are the camera's on you. So
Oh
don't
my
be,
gosh.
scratching your ass or something. Uh, well, that's a nice way to kick off the good. the show. Talking
So
about eating
yeah,
boogers.
so then we put in the rookie and he sucks. So whatever. You know what? We got the fight that we wanted to see.
Mm.
Was it the turnout? Was it the ending or the action packed as we thought it was gonna be? No, it wasn't.
Mm.
But it happened. I didn't see any controversy, and I'll talk about that. Um, I thought it was an excellent fight. Both guys high caliber. They didn't want to, didn't want to really risk too much.
Hmm.
It cost one at the end.
Hmm.
That's all that happened there.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely, definitely, and that's certainly the what I want to kick off the show with, because it's there's plenty to talk about there, and amongst the controversy, um, I it happened earlier in the afternoon, of course, here on Pacific Standard Time, and that meant that I for everybody who knows, I work Saturday mornings, so I was trying to work and watch the fucking fight, right? I was scoring it myself. I had one or two swing rounds. If it would have gone that direction, I probably would have given it to Bivol, but a few close rounds. I did give it to Beterbiev, and I had it, 7-5. That's pretty tight. 113,
Yeah.
115, right? That's not out of the realm of possibility. Um, Everybody is making us think of that one judge, of course, which we'll get to momentarily. But a couple of things I wanted to
Who
mention.
had it? Who had it? 116, 112, right?
Right, right.
That's really
Eight
not
rounds to
that
four.
far off of one
No, yeah.
115.
I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to that. If that judge scored it one more round to
He
Bivol
has
at
almost
115,
everybody's card.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So that, yes, might have been. I think maybe 9 rounds to 3 would have been excessive. That would have been too much if that did happen, but it wasn't. 8 rounds to 4. And then of course Eddie Hearn had some choice words about that as well. But um, I had it for Beterbiev winning, right? It was close, right? To some degree, I think Beterbiev's knee was affecting him. I don't know which knee it was that he had surgery on, because there are times where he's throwing his hands, but it doesn't look like he's going full power. And I'm like, does he just not have that pop in that? And again, I don't know what knee it is, so I'm starting to trying to piece things together and connect the dots. I don't know if it's his right leg, because that's the one that he uses to unload, right? So I'm thinking, damn, I wonder if that is the leg that's bothering him, or the knee. I keep saying leg, but knee. And I'm thinking, why doesn't it look like he is putting that much pop into these power? And it's not like he isn't, moving Bivol. He is, and he's trying to go around the gloves. I would have liked for Beterbiev to throw a lot more to the body early, knowing that that's one of the things that slows fighters down. We know that Bivol is going to want to move. We know that Bivol is going to try to use the ring for as much as he can, and his legs. And how else can you slow a guy down than just, Chavez Rosario, that motherfucker? Smother him, put him against the corner, go to the body, get him, take away his legs by going to the body. It didn't look like Beterbiev was doing that from the beginning, and it just looked like he was okay with just throwing at Bivol's gloves, really, because a lot of shots were landing on Bivol's gloves, but it was looked like Bivol was punching himself, basically, because of those punches that still had enough power. But I don't, again, I haven't read anywhere what knee it is that Beterbiev had problems with, or the one that he had the surgery on. But I wonder if it's his right leg, because it just didn't look like he was putting that much in there. And maybe he was fighting with a little bit of kind of timidness, like he didn't have that much. Because mind you, 5 months was when I think he had the surgery. So a certain few, how many months to recover, and then the training camp on top of that. So was it too fast? Maybe I kind of suspect it might have been. He came in with the victory. Good for him. But I think he could have done more. Did a terrible job cutting off the ring. Didn't go to the body. Very few times that he went to the body, and it landed cleanly as fuck. Like the crowd was like, "Oh shit, that was a clean ass body shot." Um, Ultimately, he got the win. So who am I to say that he did it wrong? But yeah, I definitely think that he deserved the win. First undisputed light heavyweight champion in 25 years since Roy Jones Jr. So that's something significant. Kept his undefeated record intact. The knockout streak is undefeated, right? I mean, it's gone now. He doesn't have that 100% knockout ratio that he had prior to coming into this. But of course, fighting somebody like Bivol, the guy's going to be in there till the very end. So I did have it 115, 113 for Beterbiev. I think there was some issue with his knee still. I think he could have done more, maybe done a little more to seal the deal. But again, who am I to talk? Because what he do to steal the deal? He got the last 3 rounds on the scorecards of the judges. And Andrew, you will say it to the fucking till you're blue in the face. You cannot give up the final round, and that's exactly what
That's right.
Bivol did. I
That's
mean,
right.
hell, he gave it the last 3. So, um, controversy on that one card, 116, 112, seems a bit much. I get it. I know people are like, "What? Only 4 rounds?" But again, as we said, if that judge gave one more round to Bivol, it would be, the 5-7 that we're used to, and it's not, it's exactly the same as the other scorecard. 114. I think I would have been okay if it would have ended up being a draw. We know chances are there's going to be a rematch anyway. I don't think there's a rematch clause, but I think they're going to work something out regardless, especially if His Excellency says so. If he says it's going to happen, chances are it's going to happen. But I'm okay with the victory. Of course, yes, I'm okay because I was rooting for Beterbiev to begin with, and me and my pops were like watching it, like, yeah, basically Bivol gave up those last rounds. We've seen it before, most historically with or most high profile as Trinidad and De La Hoya, right? With De La Hoya giving up those final rounds, that tends to happen. You can't expect to win the fight when you end up losing the last 3 rounds. So I'm okay with the decision. Yeah, maybe that judge's score was a little too skewed, but at the end of the day, the way, hell, I give it back to you, Andrew. The right person won. The right person won. So who the fuck gives a shit about the scorecards or the punch stat or all that other shit? I suspect Beterbiev could have done better. I think his knee was still bugging him, but he got the job done anyway. What did you see? What did you think?
I'm gonna let Beterbiev have one more fight before I start with the knee hasn't healed properly.
Mm-hmm.
We got to remember he's 39 years old going into last night, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's not, what do they call it, a spring chicken anymore, right? Getting kind of old there. Did it show? Yeah, no, Miguel, he threw 630 fucking punches. You know what I mean? He walked Bivol, who's an excellent boxer, excellent combination puncher, walked him down the whole night. So I don't know how much I want to say, he needed to try or do anything more. I'm more upset with Bivol, to be honest with you. Bivol was fighting with some nervous tension there. Okay. It was like he was punching to stay away from me more than, I'm trying to win this thing, right? Trying to take this fight. His face, he doesn't have a good poker face at all because he looked nervous the whole time. These guys have known each other since the amateurs. One of them, I guess, has 300 and something wins, right? Has a win over him. Is undefeated and with the 100% knockout rate. I think all this played in Bivol's head over and over and over. He knew him since he was a little kid. He knows he came to this pro ranks and is just a destroyer. And it fucked with him in that ring. Bro, the last 3 rounds, or 4 rounds. Fuck. Dude, this fight, I'm sorry. It wasn't close, you guys. Bullshit. Stop it. Stop. Bivol gives up the most important part of the fight. Everybody knows. I think the judges do it there's not a fix. They just don't want to have it one-sided. Whenever a fighter takes the early rounds, don't ever think you took all of them. You never do. 1 or 2 rounds is going to the other guy on pity sometimes, right? Just because maybe they gave 4-1. Oh, I'll give this one to him. You got to think like that. Don't think you're going into the last 4. Oh, I'm up 8-0. No, you're not. It's probably, 6-2. Don't lose the last 4. It's a draw. And everyone's going to be mad. But they gave him those 2 little petty rounds, those real close rounds where they gave you all the ones where you dominated. But, look, you see it in the boxing all the time. When the underdog lands one shot and they start jerking the dude off like he just fucking won the fight. Oh, my God, what a shot. He landed on the champ. Like, oh, my God, stop it. It was 1 punch. But they're trying to make something out of nothing. How about that? And I think sometimes refs do that in their own freaking head. And then the last 4 rounds come and it's like, oh shit, dude just swept them. I wonder what my scorecard says.
Funny that you mentioned that, because check this out. As on most people's scorecards, I mean, Bivol won the first 2, but then Beterbiev won the 3rd. And for a quick second, we were thinking like, oh shit, was it the first 3 rounds that were completely swept by Bivol? No, just the first 2 really, and then kind of went back and forth between that. But yeah,
and it really
as a 3rd round, Beterbiev was already coming back.
Yeah, he was, Miguel, and I'm telling you, I didn't like Bivol's the last 10 seconds. I'll try to win it by throwing these combinations. It's a bad game plan, man. Bivol. You got to read the fucking room. Beterbiev was the favorite. I'm sorry. Did you see His Excellency? Look, this got to be talked about. What the hell is it? And I shouldn't say that. I know he gets mad if you want to get, say rude things. But, bro, You cannot. Could you imagine Don King while Mike Tyson's throwing a combo, being on the ring apron like, oh, yeah, yeah. Did you see His Excellency get off his seat and go to the ring and start slapping it when Beterbiev was hitting him?
No.
If
I saw it
guys,
on the DAZN feed. I didn't see it. Was it on the? Did you
go
watch it on the ESPN
watch.
feed?
Yes, I was. Go watch the last 4 rounds. No, because I think ESPN wasn't even there. I think they got DAZN's feed, bro, because all they kept showing us was Bivol highlights the whole fucking time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, come on. DAZN was hella trying with that, bro. I was like, I could have swore Beterbiev landed punches in this round, right? And they're only showing Bivol, but whatever. I don't think ESPN was there. No, His Excellency is hella fanboying in the sidelines, dude. Getting up out of his seat, clapping. Bro, it's bad.
Yeah, I saw that, but I didn't see him go to the
dude,
room.
And it's probably the last 2 rounds where Beterbiev's really coming on. He gets up off his seat and goes to the ring. And I tell everyone, I go, he's clearly telling the fucking judges who he wants to win. I'm sorry. When His Excellency's like, yeah, great one. What do you think the judges are doing?
He's probably looking over the judges right now. And the judges are like that Key and Peele gig when the guy's like fucking sweating and he's like, like you make
Miguel. If that was Don King, that'd be the biggest story today.
Sure.
You can't do. Everyone that goes out there, you gotta read the room. I'm sorry, but if you're fighting, if you are not in that circle, believe me, you're not going into the 9th round 8-0. Know that. It's not happening. It's not a fix. Don't call it a fix. This has been in the sport for a very long time. B-ball should have known this. I know all you newbies want to act like this. Oh, food boxing's over. Boxing's been doing the hometown bullshit for a very long time. Right? That's where the whole phrase, you got to take it from the champ, comes from.
Sure.
Hello? Because we know those little sissy rounds, they're only a punch or so, it makes a difference. They're going to give it to the guy they want.
Wow. Yeah. Well, that I'm gonna look. I'm gonna go back and look to see if I can fucking see.
You gotta find it, bro.
Jumping on that shit, because no, I just saw him. There's a couple of times where I did see, and I think Hearn got off his seat too as well, and they were kind of like, but they were.
Hearn was trying.
Oh yeah, he was trying. Yeah,
he was so trying. Did you see him after the fight with that fake ass celebration across the ring? He like goes across the ring like, yeah. I was like, shut up. Your guy didn't even raise his hands. He was celebrating more than Bivol. Bivol turns around like, oh no, did I win? Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
Bivol doesn't, when the bell rings, he doesn't even have the confidence to be like, yeah, he's literally like this. I'm like, why is his hand? He looks like he doesn't even know if he won. And then he goes like that. But no, when he turns around, he's more like, fuck, dude. What just happened, right? So that was 4 rounds of you just being a punching bag. That's what just happened. What the fuck happened? Why didn't you throw? I'm going to tell you why he threw. He knew something we don't. And that's that dude fucking is the hardest puncher he's ever dealt with. And he ain't not trying to get knocked out. That's what happened there. Because
he had to have thought that he had won enough rounds to coast the last rounds, because otherwise,
that's a lot of coasting, though, Miguel.
Well, it is, but I don't think he would have thought, this fight is close and I'm gonna give up the last 3 rounds. I certainly don't think he's gonna think that, but I have to assume that he's thinking, okay, I can give up the last 3 rounds because I got so many of them in the bank already.
That's crazy. That is a crazy train of thought. If he comes out and says that that's what he was in his mind in the 9th round, I thought I could skate the last 3, he's crazy. And I'm not going to take that much credit away from Beterbiev. I think Beterbiev got him. I think he got into his head. I think the punt, dude, he was moving him with shots that weren't really landing. They were hitting his outside of his glove, and Beterbiev would go back 3 steps. 2 steps. Like, he was moving him. This wasn't Canelo. This wasn't the dude who was just hitting and you're just, nothing, little man. No, this wasn't little man that night.
Nothing, little Mexican.
Yeah, that was little vegan Mexican on top of that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So no, I'm not going to take that much credit away from Beterbiev. In the casino, bro, there was only a group of us. Wasn't really big. College football dominated, but there was still a group of us. No one said Bivol. Nobody. And I had no horse in the race where I had, I had $300 on Beterbiev. I need him to win. No. You clearly seen Beterbiev take over this fight in the late rounds. The first rounds are hella close. They're hella close. I'm telling you, I think some of them he was trying to win in the last 10 seconds, and he might have did a great job. Maybe he did land the last 4 punches, right? Where it was like, okay, well, maybe he did win that round because of that last flurry. I would have to look at the judges' scorecards, watch the fight over to see if the judges were responding to the 10-second thing at the end. But if they didn't, that's on Bivol. That's the game plan you want to pick, is to try to coast the first 2 minutes, 2 minutes and 50 seconds of the round before you actually try to engage. That's your problem. Dude, the backing up the whole time. I know in America, we call it, we're like, that's boxing. It is what it is. That's great. In other countries, they don't like this. They like aggression. They like fighting, right? They like seeing guys who are throwing punches. One guy threw over 600 of them. That is what won him the fight. I tell you guys all the time, they don't get the replays that we do. You see some of those replays, bro, those combinations, both of them were missing. Right, the replays kind of doesn't do boxing any justice, dude. Because you're like, whoa, well, nothing landed there. But when it was live, it looked a little better. You know what I'm saying?
You hear the crack, even if it like lands a shoulder or a chin or something or a chest. I mean, you hear the smack of the glove, but it didn't land when you watch the replay, and it doesn't really hit the same way when you watch the replay in the between rounds. This is one of the other reasons why I was thinking
but
that
wait.
Beterbiev.
I was just gonna say. Yeah. So the refs only get to see it live. They're seeing one guy throw over
the judges.
The judges, excuse me.
Yeah.
They see one guy throw over 200 more punches. I think they probably thought he hit him way more than he did, but they don't get the replay, right? They don't get to slow it down to see what is it. They're seeing one guy, he's just firing on him. The other dude's not doing shit. He throws a combination every once in a while, and it's a good combo. Dude, he had the faster hands. He had the better combo. Bivol, why aren't you throwing it? He knew something. Bullshit. I'm telling you right there, he either felt the power last night, Miguel, or he felt it in the amateurs. He didn't want to go there with them. He's like, you just stay out there, and I'm just going to do this. And Beterbiev's like, bitch, I'm coming. In the last 4 rounds, he got there.
So one of the reasons why I was thinking that Beterbiev's knee was still bugging them was because he just didn't seem to cut off the ring. It looked like Bivol was circling in that direction to the right, and he wasn't taking that step. And I'm thinking, shit, can he not? Like, does he have to be ginger when he takes that step over? Like, he can't really place too much like weight in that position. And the fact that he wasn't doing it, he was letting Bivol, get. And then I was thinking that he's gonna have to take advantage of whenever Bivol is up against the ropes, if that ever gets to that. But he has to push him there, right? And that didn't happen as much as I thought it was going to happen. It just seemed like he was Beterbiev, I'm saying, was more than okay with boxing with him in the center of the ring, thinking he was going to catch him, where the center of the ring was primarily where Bivol was connecting the better combinations. Didn't cut off the ring, didn't go to the body. The body part was the part that kind of threw me off even more, because I'm thinking, like, dude, put some power in that fucking right hand, man. Like, shit, Bivol does a thing where he got the high guard sometimes, go underneath, and I don't know, those things. And maybe Beterbiev will look back and be like, because he was disappointed in his performance as well. They asked him in the interview in the ring after the fight, and he's like, he kind of seemed like he wasn't very, very satisfied with his performance. So I'm thinking he knows he can do more. He just had that doubt of the knee in his mind, and he wasn't able to go full, like pedal to the metal.
It might be.
We expect him. That's what I'm thinking. But if that was the case, let's say, what was it about Bivol that didn't take over? That, like, the guy's coming in with a bum knee to some degree, right? It's like you add more pressure to the guy. You put more pressure on him. You make sure that you push him back. Like, how often do we see Beterbiev fighting backwards? Not too regularly. And if he's coming into the fight with a bum knee, you would think Bivol would take advantage of that.
I'm gonna say I thought Beterbiev hurt Bivol at least 3 times in this fight, where he wiggles him, where there's a clean punch and Beterbiev absolutely shuts down, starts moving, doesn't want anything to do with the next few exchanges. Bivol, yes.
Oh, okay.
Bivol hurt Beterbiev round 7 or so. Okay. He hurts him, goes in for the attack. bam, left hook by Beterbiev, and you see Bivol's knee just go straight. He got wiggled, bro.
Mm-hmm.
He got back his feet, but I think it was that punch. All right, back. It just kept messing with them, and yeah, I did. Excellent fight. I think if he believed in himself more, he could. I think Bivol could have done better. I'm really leaning more on Bivol drop the ball. Bro, he was way faster. And the speed of Beterbiev has always been slow. That way he was punching that night, that's kind of his game plan, dude. Beterbiev has those heavy hands. I was kind of telling the guys like George Foreman, slow, but it must be when he hits you, they're like rocks. You know what I'm saying? Like, definitely when he hits through your glove, you're still feeling that. I think Bivol was legit feeling the punches through the glove because he didn't want any part of exchanging with him, and I think that's because he already knew when this dude's hitting me, he's hurting me. So I'm only gonna punch him when I can punch and then get out of there. He wanted no exchanges. He never wanted to take that fight from Beterbiev. And what happened to you got to take it from the champ? And I understand that he had a belt, but we all know the other guy had 3 belts. So who's the champ? Right? Yeah. So I think Bivol could have done better, but unfortunately I think Bivol knows something that we don't about his chin and that dude's power, where he was like, nah, I'm good. He just looked nervous, man, in the beginning of the fight. When they do the announcement, Bivol looks like a little boy again. He really does. Yeah, I was just watching him like, damn, he really looks like this moment's getting to him. And he fights nervous. I'm not going to say scared, but he fights nervous. He's fighting in a defensive mode. You don't win titles like that. Sorry, Floyd had his run. It was awesome, but most of the time
there are exceptions. There
are exceptions, but yeah, most of the time you are not winning, especially when the other guy I think wants your opponent to win. The guy with the $1 million.
Yeah,
swear to God, I seen it.
Yeah,
he's the one standing up clapping, bro, as you're getting hit. You might fuck. They should have all known at that moment. It was such a dead giveaway, dude. I go, bro, he's telling the fucking judges right now. It's like round 10 or 11, Miguel. That's why he did it. I'm telling you, I think that's why he did it. He's like,
that's the I think he looks over. Beterbiev is remembering that time that he was. No. Bivol is remembering the time that he was in the ring and His Excellency had his arm around his kid. He's like looking over to him, and he's like, "Is this it?" I was like, "Second of fucking thing. Time to drop the fucking last 3 rounds here, Bivol. Otherwise, you're never taking your senior kids again." Wow, yeah, that holy fuck, that's. I mean. I'm gonna look into that because I don't know. I gotta remember seeing that.
It should be on ESPN, right?
Yeah. It should be. Yeah.
I'm gonna go file. I'll send it to you right after the show, dude. I'll go find this thing really fast, eh? Yeah, no, I seen it, and I was like, man, that's so. It's kind of wrong. You can't do that when you're the money man. You can't be favoritism like that, favoriting fighters like that.
And the thing is, even if, well, let's say for the sake of argument that was the case, why would he be favoriting Beterbiev? He's with Top Rank and the ESPN guy. He's the guy. He's kind of the other guy. Like, he was in the ring.
Did you see what Beterbiev said after the fight? Praises to Allah. That's what I'm. Well, what do you think I mean about if you're not in the circle?
So Bivol is what, like?
I don't know what Bivol is. I didn't hear him say anything about Allah, though.
No, he sure as hell didn't.
So you only got one guy who's. Hey, listen. I'm just saying, read the room, man. Read the room. Yeah, we're really late, babe. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Thank you.
It's like, don't let him catch you picking your nose, because he's gonna fucking bite your ass.
Oh my God, she put it extra hot too. See, she just burned my mouth. That's what happens when you talk shit, bro.
I got your late right here, motherfucker.
Yeah, it's hot. I know.
Oh jeez. Well, so that being said, it sounded as though a potential rematch is not in the clause per se, but a possibility in the near future of 2025. It kind of gave that impression when Beterbiev was asked this, he turned around. Of course, he said, "Well, if His Excellency wants it, well, that's not a good answer." But he said he's willing to do it. And then when Bivol was asked the same question, he's like, "Yes, of course, hell yeah." So it seemed as though both guys are down for a rematch. Chances are we might get it. Let's say, for the sake of argument, we get a rematch. Does Bivol learn and come back better?
It's up to him. I'm not in his mental. To me, I think it was a mental thing holding him back last night. So he's going to have to get over whatever demons he has with Beterbiev as a young child. You got to remember, there's an age gap there. How do we know Beterbiev wasn't working him as a kid? You know what I mean? Where he's just kind of snake bitten on the dude. Like, I don't know how many times they fought, but they did say they fought, correct?
Yeah, I remember.
You heard it too? Okay, I thought I had heard that. So, and one is like 6 years older than the other.
Yeah.
So what if there was sparring involved? Like, we don't know how close they were in the amateur ranks. You know, were they going to the same camps? Were they going to the same tournaments? Was there training involved? Where Beterbiev might have been whooping his ass ever since he was 14 to 20 or 12 to 18, right? Until he turned pro or some shit. I don't freaking know. But definitely a mental thing. I felt like way early in that fight on Bivol's side. He just looked nervous as shit. And the way he fought, I didn't like it. I'm sorry. He fought way too defensive. At the end, he didn't even want it. I'm telling you, those last 4 rounds are all Beterbiev. It's the 12th round. Are you serious? That 12th round, that was close to being 2 points. Bivol wanted no part of fight in the 12th round. It was just a flat ass giveaway to the other guy. You don't deserve the fight. No. So comes back in a rematch. He's got to get over the mental. I think it's the same fight. I think if he opens up, he gets hit with that hook or the right hand, he gets hurt again. He goes back to the same kid who remembered him 20 years ago and starts running. Sorry.
So if you could try connecting the dots, if you think there's something in Bivol that he's kind of like, I don't, like you said, I'm not necessarily scared, but there's something in the back of his mind about Beterbiev. What do you think it is? Is it the power? Is it the ass whoopings that he probably got when he was younger? I mean, like,
it's probably the power. Yeah, maybe. Hey, listen, we've seen how many fighters in the build-up show say that it's the hardest puncher. That Yarde said it's the hardest guy he ever said. Right? All these professional fighters are like, no one's ever hit me as hard as him. That Bivol might have felt those punches when he was just a teenager. That might not have ever left. You know what I mean? It's just something. And then the guy's got 100% knockout ratio as a pro, and you remember him as a kid kicking your ass, and now as an adult he has 100% knockout ratio. Yeah, I can fuck with you just a tad. You know, and then actually when he hits you, you actually start, here comes all those demons. Oh shit, it did hurt. Oh damn, that one did hurt. Oh, that did hurt. Like, and it built on him until the end. He just fucking caves. He caves. He doesn't want to win. I'm sorry. I don't, boxing, I don't think we're ever going to get a fight where everyone, it has to be a knockout for everyone to say it wasn't controversy. It seems like every time there's a decision, and they might even be trolls nowadays. It could even be guys that don't even give 2 shits about it. They just want to start an argument on the chat room. But I didn't see it as being as controversial as only some said. Like I said, there wasn't a big pushback on this decision. Really, I don't know how many Americans watched. And let me throw that out there. There wasn't a lot of likes on any of the shit they were putting out there. Not for what this caliber of fight as this should have been. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, there was no Americans on the undercard. We were supposed to have Shakur. We didn't have Shakur. Chris Eubanks, not a huge name. And then there's just nothing else to hold water on that undercard. That one kid from Ben Whitaker, the kid from the UK, is supposed to be the new Prince Nassim. Did you see that fight?
Yeah.
Yeah, falls out of the fucking ring.
Toppled over the ring, yeah.
That was insane. And the cruiserweight, no one gave a shit about these cruiserweights, No. Unfortunately, I think all they have is the rematch. I don't think David Benavidez is ready to take on either guy. Not because of skills, money. Unless His Excellency wants to just keep losing money, which, hey, listen, I'm going to tell you, I've been hearing, or I've been reading, he is losing money on these fights. He hasn't made a dime. The Terrence Crawford fight lost. Which other fight did he do? Gosh darn it. He did 2 fights that have lost his ass on. That he paid hella money for the concert, for the guys fighting, and they're not making their money back. That stadium didn't seem like it was that packed. Like, I think His Excellency needs to learn when to take a fight to Saudi Arabia and when a fight is worth being put maybe in one of their backyards. Canada. Do you know how many people would have shown up in Canada for that fight, Miguel? They would have sold out any motherfucking arena they wanted out there. I would say the same for Bivol, but I don't know what the market is where he's from. I don't know how much they could sell tickets, but I know in Canada they used to do pretty good out there. Mm-hmm. Who are some of those guys that used to fight in Canada?
Adonis Stevenson. That dude used to.
Adonis Stevenson, the white guy though. Who was the white dude?
White dude. What weight? Remember?
Yeah, middleweights or something. He's middleweight. Lucien Boutte.
Lucien Boutte. Yeah.
Lucien
Super middleweight.
Used to pack the house, bro. Used to pack the fucking house out there. So he just needs to know, because it just didn't seem like the crowd was. It didn't seem like there was 80,000 there. This fight probably could have got that there if they were in Canada. It was that big. Yeah. So I hope they did that. The undercard was cool, but it was a lot of knockouts. There was a lot of fast fights. Yeah. One fight ended in 1 round. One fight ends in 5. There was another knockout like in 7. They throw on a towel.
Yeah.
Yeah, they throw in.
That's the cruiserweight. With the cruiserweights, I think it was.
Well, that was the first round knockout. The cruiserweight is Worley. He knocks out some dude in 1 round.
Oh,
it was a 1-round fight. Yeah. Remember, did you see what he did? Dude, the guy's head was indented.
Yes. Yeah. Fuck yeah. We watched that shit. And then like his eyes, dude, he was out on his feet, man. Like I was catching that shit. And my dad was like, did he just dent his fucking temple? I was like, oh, you can't do that. Like, no, Dad. And he's like, no, look. And I looked and I was like, I mean, I'm seeing it, but I'm like,
he
no,
crushed it, man.
That can't be it. I thought like he got hit and he got a little bit of swelling, and then the swelling is causing the shadow underneath. I'm thinking to myself, right? I'm trying to think of some other logical explanation.
That was Fabio Wardley knocked out Fraser Clark in 1 round.
That one, wow. That one. Wait, that one was the heavyweight though. That was the heavyweight bout.
The cruiserweights.
Those are no way. Those aren't cruiserweights. Those are
these are heavyweights too. Oh, yeah. Jai Apataya.
That guy.
That's a cruiserweight.
Yeah, that's a cruiserweight. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, and he nuts, dude. That fucking imitation. Oh, go ahead. What you gonna say?
No, he knocked out his opponent. But yeah, the card, fast fights. I don't know. You know.
Let's talk about that card, please, because we were under the impression that Shakur was going to fight Joe Cordina as like the headlining, fight, the feature fight of the undercard. And they were going to do a $20 pay-per-view for that, right along with the rest of the undercard. Well, Shakur gets injured. His hand, he has to go to get surgery, and his fight with Cordina gets scrapped entirely. There's no replacement or anything like that. So we're under the impression, cool, no pay-per-view. Wrong again.
And they told us no pay-per-view though, Miguel.
Saying there was no fucking pay-per-view. And then because here's the thing, there are times where I notice that DAZN isn't free, quote unquote, for everybody around the world. If you have a subscription here in the US, usually you get the fight for free. But oftentimes they still offer a pay-per-view on DAZN pay-per-view for other countries. So I would see it sometimes. It says like, buy on DAZN. I'm like, well, the fuck am I gonna buy it? No, of course not. Well, wrong. DAZN now apparently not now, but when I try to tune into it, sure enough, I have to pay $20, which it's not a lot. I'm not saying it's a lot, but to see to see the undercard, hell no. When here's the thing, and this is funny because I remember Bob Arum saying this all the time, how he oftentimes doesn't give 2 fucks about the undercard, but he's like, people pay to watch the main event. He's so for the main event, and that's what people pay for. This is literally the complete opposite. People are paying for the undercard and getting the main event for free. Like, what? I'm convinced that His Excellency doesn't know jack shit about boxing, dude. He doesn't know anything.
Well, I don't think that was him, though, Miguel.
You don't think that was him? He's the one that said $20. No, didn't he say $20?
He brought the $20 pay-per-view in, but I don't think he had told Eddie Hearn to put that on for free. All right, You want to hear my conspiracy theory?
Please. Let's put on our tinfoil hats.
There you go. I didn't want to take it from you. Tinfoil hat time. I think Eddie's on his way out of DAZN and was trying to get us for being suckers, bro. Before he gets his walking papers, he's like, let's just fucking make this a pay-per-view, try to get whatever money we can. Look, DAZN just announced they are basically giving everything to His Excellency. Did you see the announcement? Have you seen that from DAZN?
No, please elaborate. What announcement?
Last week or 2 weeks ago, you guys, fucking His Excellency signed an agreement. I think that's why he was telling Eddie goodbye after during the Dubois and the AJ fight. That was a real awkward moment they have on that couch where he's like, I think after this, we're gonna miss you. He literally tells it, and Eddie's like, what does that mean? Where am I going? Right? The next week, they announce a partnership with DAZN. Riyadh season is on DAZN. No, Eddie, I think Eddie's out. I think he's out, and he was like, fuck you guys. I'm not giving shit for free. He's got to make his money. The only so many more fights he's going to have on this kind of platform. What's his next platform going to be? Sky Matchroom pay-per-view again? Who nobody's going to buy in America?
So, okay. So you think this was an Eddie decision? It was Eddie the one
Hell
who
yeah.
decided. Okay.
Yes.
Which, by the way, Eddie lost again because this is Bivol. You know, Bivol is his guy, and Beterbiev is Top Rank's guy. And now you can discuss the decision, and you can argue. Yeah, right, exactly. Like we're gonna hear it.
He's coming, Eddie. He's clapping that ass.
We're gonna fucking hear it. And as a matter of fact, I think I got a nice little tweet here from our.
Oh, there you go.
Rick Glazer. This is what he says. Right, quote. At Eddie Hearn, it says, "You keep getting owned by Bob Arum and Frank Warren. Your fighters never beat Arum and Frank's fighters. Latest example, Beterbiev beating Bivol. Eddie, get ready for Oscar De La Hoya's next edition of Clapback Thursday. I can't wait. #boxing." So yeah, that's definitely some bullshit. I was not willing to pay no $20 fucking, and I doubt any other American was willing to pay $20 to see an undercard of English fighters, and it may be if that fight with Shakur and Cordina was still on there, I'd be more willing to pay $20 just to watch.
I would have, yes.
The rest of the undercard, no. The fact that it stayed that way, the fact that it stayed pay-per-view, I'm trying to say, that was some bullshit. I was not down for that. I sure as hell didn't. I had to resort to my streaming, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, but I had to. I wasn't gonna fucking pay no goddamn $20. But I'm a fan, so I'm gonna watch them anyway. But I'm not gonna pay for them shit. So that's a good one. I think you think it might be right. I think maybe Eddie's kind of sort of on the way out. I mean, he's been promising His Excellency that he's gonna come through with a winner. He has yet to do that. Besides the 5-on-5 debacle, ass whooping at the hands of Frank Warren, and then of course thinking that he was gonna make up for it all with Joshua. That went to shit. And then now Bivol with his loss. So
the whole thing went to Miguel. It was never right. He got the keys to this car and crashed it from day one. The Anthony Joshua and Canelo and Gennady Golovkin signings. Those were all train wrecks, dude. Gennady Golovkin, $20 million fighter? Yeah, fucking right. Everyone else laughed at that, bro. You think Bob Arum was like, oh, you don't think he was cracking jokes about Gennady being a $20 million guy? Anthony Joshua loses like his first fight under that contract. Remember, what did we say at one time? He had more comeback fights than title defenses. It's fucking sad, bro.
Yeah. No, I hear you, dude. Yeah.
His record versus Mexicans. Remember, he tried to bring all of his guys over here undefeated, put them in with. He didn't give a shit how many losses the Mexicans have. They won every time. That was his first losing streak. Then it carried on to Frank Warren, Top Rank. No, Eddie. There's way too much evidence out there now. You take fucking Garcia to Fresno? What? You take fucking Jacobs to the UK? What? Eddie, it might be time, bro. We're gonna miss you. We'll see you again. You'll be around. I know you'll have some English guy. You'll have a Ricky Hatton or something one day. But you had $1 billion, bro, and you don't got shit to show for it. You got a losing record. You got losing fighters. You're too fucking soft. I'm sorry, Don King he would threaten a guy's family's income. Like fuck, you don't win this fight, I'm not gonna feed your fucking kids. And the guy would hate Don King. Fuck that dude. Fuck him. Well, guess what? Guess who's mad and is winning the fight now? Sorry.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
You can't. Sometimes you got to be tough with these guys, right? We're in a fight game. And now everything is all, fucking always doing, just smiling and act like everything's good. I know his bank account was good. I know if I check Eddie Hearn's bank, I can't knock you on the money that you stole from DAZN. It's all good. You were double ending those deals. You gave fighters that you had under contract the biggest contracts of boxing. That's a great move. DAZN, I don't know how you let someone get away with that. He was literally the manager of the guy he was signing the biggest contract ever to.
Yeah.
No, there's nothing. You don't see any red flags with doing this. All right, whatever. They paid for it. DAZN's paying for it. But I guess they got the NFL and some other sports that they make a lot of money on. So they're
apparently now also His Excellency coming in here and putting some money on them, right? So they got themselves a nice little sugar daddy with him. But I mean, even him, I still don't think he knows shit about boxing. You know what I'm saying? I still don't think he fucking knows jack shit about boxing. It shows even more when we have Missy Elliott and Busta Rhymes on a goddamn concert.
Was that the concert? No, I did. Yeah. Oh my god!
And there was somebody else that I don't recognize because those are my era. Like I know like 90s rappers. So I'm like, oh fuck Missy, and they're playing their fucking thing, and I'm like, what? And then me and my pops were like, I mean, we weren't surprised like that because here's the thing: that the co-main event ended early, right? So it's like, well, these guys are barely putting their gloving up, right? They're already wrapped up and everything, but they haven't even put on their gloves. So I'm thinking, okay, they're gonna kill some time while they stretch and warm up, right? Work up a nice little sweat or whatever. And here comes the concert. They start doing the fucking Missy Elliott doing her thing and Busta Rhymes and everything. And number one,
now when you say Missy Elliott doing her thing, do you mean like her 25 years ago that song?
What was she? Yeah, she was doing the "Get Your Freak On" or something, right? She was playing. I want to say that's the song that she was playing.
Right after I got out of high school, is that what you're talking?
It was a song I recognized, and I don't listen. It's been a long time since I listened to hip hop, so it was one of the songs that I recognized. If it was not late '90s, it had been 2000s.
Right.
So
right.
She was doing that, and I don't think I recognize what Busta was rapping. I mean, I'm sure it was one of his good songs. I don't know, but I'm familiar with him, so I should know some of his songs, but I didn't recognize which one he was singing or rapping. But that just it leads more to that, like he doesn't know shit. I'm talking about His Excellency. Boxing fans don't want to see that first and foremost. Secondly, who in Saudi Arabia is a fan of Busta Rhymes? No one knows who the fuck this dude is. You can't tell me that he's got people, that his inner circle are friends, fans of Missy Elliott.
How does that even? Yeah, how does that phone call even work? Yes. Who did he call to get Missy Elliott and Busta Rhymes, dude?
And there's another artist there that looked a lot younger. I just didn't recognize her, but. Number one, no fans want to watch his boxing fans. I'm saying. Number two, the people in the damn arena, they probably don't know who the fuck these people are either. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so they're gonna put these guys on stage. If it was an Oakland, California fucking event, then maybe it's another fucking story. You know what I'm saying? We got people at least that recognize them, but in a different freaking continent. And who of them are fans over there? Do you think there's gonna be dudes with their freaking, what I don't know what's called, the chic people, right? Rapping along to Busta? Like, no, they don't know who the fuck this dude is. You know what I'm saying? So that on top of the fact that boxing fans don't want to see that, like he comes across as so out of touch with contemporary boxing fans, and it just seemed like he's so out of touch with reality sometimes. When I see that stuff, I'm like, oh, like who I would like to see the conversation. I would like to have heard who did he talk to?
He definitely went cheaper.
Yeah, not MM, right?
Yeah, when you talk about MMM and even the rock band they had on the other day, they definitely went cheaper when they went Missy Elliott. It was I think they were from the UK. That old group they had for
it was the dude from Oasis, the guy, the lead singer of Oasis. I forgot his name, but yeah, that guy. Yeah.
So they definitely went cheaper. It seems like on this one. Yeah, no. Look, and I'll give them an A for effort. Hopefully he finds his way because we need his money right now. Without him funding boxing, I don't know where literally we were at the point where these guys are only making money if they sold a fight, right? That's where the PBC's platform was. PBC was like, we got this new thing going where we're just gonna put you on pay-per-view, and hey, if you do good, I'll give you a lot more money.
Yeah.
But no guarantees, right?
Yeah.
So it's what you sell. So that's a terrible platform. That's a platform where all your real athletes go to other sports. Seriously. That's where you really got to think twice about getting your son punched in the head when there's no guaranteed purse. That's bullshit. So we need his money right now. We do. It doesn't seem like there's another. Honestly, ESPN and Top Rank, they're not doing as good as they should be. I think ESPN could do a lot more for boxing. We're like their stepchild still. Seriously, we're like the favorite stepchild. Say if there was like if you had 3 stepkids, we're the favorites of them all. There's a UFC, there's like rugby, whatever they put on to like gap fill, college sports, NBA, basketball, NBA, NFL, and Major League Baseball. Whatever gap fillers they have for that, those are the stepkids of the sports world. We're in that group. That's us. We're the favorites, but we could be doing a lot better. And unfortunately, Bob Arum just has this new what is it character that he's not the guy to go to for big fights. He can't land a big fight anymore.
It's almost like he finds the good fighters, especially when they're young, and develops them, but he can't seem to hang on to the talent that he's developing. Like he signs these young fucking hot guys that are like the Shakurs and the names of those, and then at some point there's some sort of issue, and then boom, they're gone. So it's like almost like he can't.
And this started years ago, though. It started with Mikey Garcia. Yeah, it started with Mikey Garcia.
But that's kind of my point. He gets them, young, and he slowly starts to develop them, thinking they're going to be the next Oscar or the next Floyd or whatever. And for whatever the fuck reason, shit goes sour, and off they go. And it's almost like they can't hold on to the young guys that they're bringing up. And it's like the guys who end up potentially being, big names. It just seems like that's the case. Like there is where you go if you want to really, really hone your skills, especially like the first, 15 fights of your career or whatever. But then after that, it's, hey, I'm going to pull the racist card and then like go to court and then get fucking free from my contract and then go elsewhere to make bigger fights. They just can't even make the bigger fights.
The boxing world used to be a lot more easier for him when they were younger. Him and Don King not only ran the sport, they had mob ties, right? And don't knock me for saying it. They talk about it themselves on a fucking ESPN fight that they did together. Did you hear the jokes they were cracking about calling the mob on each other and shit like that? Yeah, like the mob used to play, not the messenger, but fucking who's the guy that calms everything down? You know what I mean? Like, hey,
the mediator, the guy.
There you go. Yeah. Hey, Don told me, you're yelling at him. Don't yell at him too much. Shit like that.
Yeah.
So he ran Las Vegas, right? He was a fucking lawyer. He's in Las Vegas running shit. Like things are a lot easier, but like, come on, Top Rank's one of the greatest promotional companies of all time. What happened is they got old. And I'm sorry, a lot of these athletes nowadays are very easily persuaded by their color, right? You tell these guys nowadays, oh, why are you working with him? He's not one of us. You gotta go work with L. Oh yeah, let me sign with L. Yeah. You would have thought Don King might have hurt that, but I guess not. And Al Heyman, in my opinion, came and did the same fucking exact thing.
Oh, he did.
There's still people.
Yeah.
There's still people looking for their money. And watch when they get older and the stories get worse and worse about how much money was actually stolen from them. So whatever, I never liked any of that racist shit that they bring in, but we know it's there in boxing, and I know for a fact that's what hurt Bob Arum in these older days, but not when he had Duran and Ali and Leonard and De La Hoya, and he even did some of Chavez. This guy was the mecca of boxing. There was no one bigger than Top Rank. So it's only because of Al Heyman and Floyd Mayweather starting this bullshit about him being racist, and I think Bob just being too fucking old to make an argument anymore. He might be to the age where he's like, fuck him. If I am, then I am. Like he might be that old, right? There's a point where the old person just don't give a shit anymore. But when he was younger, he would play damage control. He would make an argument, probably do a fucking interview or some shit where he's like, "This is bullshit. Here's the money I've given these guys here." You know, because like Floyd found stupid when he tried to sue him, right? And then they were telling him, "Man, we were giving you $5 million. We weren't even making a fucking dollar on you. We were paying you $5 million." Like they started pulling out checks and what they were making back on him. It actually made him look stupid. Tyson kind of happened to him too when he went to court with Don King. They were like, "Mike, you bought 11 Lamborghinis, man. Why did you buy 11? Oh, I gave 9 of them away to my friends." Like, what the fuck, dude? Like, who? You know what I'm saying? Do you know the story on that guy? The guy that sold those cars to him?
Sold the cars to Tyson?
He shut the doors that day because he made so much money. I think he went on a vacation around the world. He was done for the year. Yeah, he took the rest of the year off when he sold I think he had 11 or 9 Lamborghinis to Mike, and Mike gave them all away. Fucking crazy. His cell phone bill, like he just gotta look stupid. All this spending, the tiger at the house, all this shit, bro. So I think Bob is just old. Unfortunately, I don't think he has a fight in him anymore for this. If you come to him, he'll work with you. He's got some guys in Vegas. I got some people I could call. That's about all I could do for you. But anything out there in the big world, I just don't think he's up for it anymore. For some reason, I don't know what's up with him in Japan. You see that I guess Top Rank's doing the whole 2 Japan cards this weekend.
Yeah. One was the earliest morning and one will be tomorrow morning. I think 1 a.m.
Oh, okay. So one's still going to happen. All right.
Yeah, one is still going to happen. One happened this morning earlier, which the one that we saw Canelo at, and then there's going to be another one still tonight. Well, I guess you say it's 1 a.m., so technically Monday morning. But yeah, there's still another one coming.
That's really weird.
Let's see if I can stay up for that one because I fucking fell asleep. I'll catch the replays later, but I was fucking out like a light. Because yes, that was a UFC card last night too, which wasn't all that great. But I mean, I stayed up watching those, and I was like, yeah, I'm tired as fuck, man. I'm going to sleep. So I didn't get a chance to catch up to it. But maybe tonight I'll stay up late enough to catch it. But you can always watch the replay on ESPN. So
to bring it all together,
yeah,
PBC might be out because of financial issues and possibly something that you read online about Al Heyman. Eddie Hearn might be out because he's just a fucktard. I'm sorry. The evidence is out there, Eddie. You couldn't get it done. I don't think you're a great promoter anymore. I really don't. Really never did. De La Hoya. De La Hoya is De La Hoya. At least his Clapback Thursday is catching on. Maybe he can do a TV show or some shit for ESPN for boxing. I don't know. But as a promoter, his company is starting to fall behind, right? He really doesn't have anyone. Ryan Garcia looks like the next Saul Alvarez to Golden Boy, right? Like they're gonna
bounce.
Yeah, and then probably being do you imagine the Instagram or the social media wars these two are gonna have? At least Canelo's like, fuck him, right? Canelo don't want any, but Ryan will probably be attaching his name to half the videos about him. He's gonna be doing the same to him. That fight is gonna be all over social media. So that he looks like that's gonna happen more with Ryan than a successful career. Virgil. We're hearing about the rumors of his last fight didn't sell good in Texas where he's from. They only sold 2,000 seats. He got hurt. He didn't, it didn't really look like the Virgil Ortiz we thought he was as a prospect. Oscar's just, he's really Jaime Munguia. Did he leave? Didn't he leave? I think he left. I didn't even see Oscar at the fight. Did you see him at the ESPN fight?
No.
No, right?
Mm.
I don't think Munguia is even there anymore. He literally walked away.
There's no way Oscar's just gonna let him, lend him to fucking Top Rank to be on the Top Rank card, main event, a Top Rank event.
So we need His Excellency's money right now. That was a long road to get to that point. Sorry, guys, but
that's all right. Well, I'm glad you brought that up because you even said it a few moments ago about the position that PBC is with Amazon Prime, right? This is another tweet. This is kind of a nice little segue here with another tweet from Rick Laser. He says, told by a very good TV industry source, where the fuck that is, There will be a second promoter that will remain anonymous? I think he's trying to say anonymous. For now, that will be doing 15 pay-per-view events on Amazon Prime starting 2025. So more than one a month. Well, I mean, like, average out. A big part of that Amazon Prime. Wait, hold on. A big part of that is Amazon Prime executives do not trust the problem and financially plagued PBC to fulfill their fights, as PBC haven't fulfilled their Amazon contract this year. Sounds like Amazon Prime executives are writing PBC's obituary. So, according to what he's saying, whether or not it comes true or not, we don't know. There's another promoter talking to Amazon Prime. They're going to do 15 pay-per-view events, which is, one a month, a little more than 1 month on some of those months. And apparently that's going to be starting 2025. There's a whole bunch of rumors, everything from the biggest one, being the UFC getting into, or Zuffa getting into the boxing business, as they said they were gonna. Maybe they're the ones that are going to be on there. Seems a bit much for 15 pay-per-views. So that seems like they would have to build up their roster first. They have to sign fighters. They can't do that shit on 15 pay-per-views. Seems like it's too much. So that leads me to believe that maybe it's not them. They're the ones that are leading the rumors, at least. So it looks as though there's going to be, another promoter, boxing promoter. At least,
Hey, can you read that again?
Sure. Told by a very good TV industry source, there will be a second promoter that will remain anonymous for now, that will be doing 15 pay-per-view events a year on Amazon Prime starting 2025. A big part of that is that Amazon Prime executives do not trust the problem and financially plagued PBC to fulfill, as PBC haven't fulfilled their Amazon contract this year. Sounds like an Amazon Prime executive are writing PBC's obituaries.
So I see why the rumors are on the UFC. There's nothing that really says it's going to be a boxing 15 fights.
Right. According to this, yes, you are right. But here's the thing. Are you leaning towards, if it is the UFC, that they're going to do both MMA and boxing, or what are you saying?
I think the UFC is moving its platform to Amazon. And Amazon might be getting rid of boxing altogether. Look.
But they're still with ESPN, though. I mean, I don't know when their deal with ESPN ends, but let me pull that up.
Yeah, you'd have to look that up. Yeah, you'd have to look that up. But I mean, we know that they're not doing great numbers on ESPN. We all know that. The pay-per-views have been down on the UFC for a while. They're consistent, but they're down. They're not 1 million. They're not 800,000. You know what I'm saying? So the ESPN might be like, you guys put out a lot of pay-per-views, and we're not really getting the viewership from it, right? I don't know what budget the ESPN has to put into these UFC events when they're following them, the camera crew, the lights. What are they putting in to, or are they just plugging into their server and the UFC does all the work? You know what I mean? But maybe ESPN doesn't want to re-sign them, or the money isn't going. What's to say?
So this is, this is an article that I found on this one website that's pretty reputable. It's called MMA Fighting, but this is an article from January of this year, so it's a little outdated. We're talking about several months now. It says that's according, ESPN and UFC are expected to sit down at the negotiating table to discuss a new broadcast rights deal in the near future. So it says that's according to UFC CEO Dana White, who acknowledged plans for those talks ahead of the expiration of their current deal that runs through 2025. So it looks like they're going to still have a deal with ESPN going through 2025, at least what it says. The UFC inked a lucrative 7-year deal with ESPN in 2018 that was reportedly worth more than $1.5 billion, which eventually accused yada yada. Anyway, talking about that. But anyway, it says now with the deal coming to a close, the UFC will sit down with ESPN before potentially branching out to discuss broadcast rights with other suitors. So it looks as though it's going to come to a close by at some point in 2025. It says it'll run through 2025. So I don't know. I mean, that's can they be on 2 platforms?
Yes, because it matters what ESPN, how much they're invested on the ESPN Plus side into their pay-per-views. But if they don't invest anything, say they just bought the UFC's rights to show the fight, but the UFC does all the work. Well, maybe ESPN is like, dude, 1.5 billion just wasn't worth it. You guys aren't even bringing the viewership that we thought we were going to get, putting you on our app. And 1.5 billion is a lot of dollars for not getting 1 million views, dude.
Yeah.
Right? You ever heard that thing of how many millions it takes to get to 100 billion or 1 billion?
Yeah.
So it's the same math when you're talking. The CEOs are like, we gave this company $1.5 billion and they're averaging 500,000 views. I don't give a shit that you do a pay-per-view every month. It's the same fucking people that are watching. We're never getting the numbers that we thought we were going to get when we brought you guys. You're out. They will find some.
So those numbers you think are good enough for Amazon?
Yes.
Like, considering
Look,
that, I mean,
what's Amazon getting right now?
Yeah.
Tim Zhu.
They're gonna get Tim Zhu and
Tim Zhu numbers
next week. As a matter of fact,
hey, we got 60,000 buys, you guys. Go ahead and tell them 200,000, but it was really 60,000.
Yeah, we got Tim Zhu on free, not pay-per-view, free Amazon next week. So
no, but I'm saying when his first fight with Fundora.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
What do you think those numbers were, Miguel? What do you think the Tank Davis numbers against Frank Martin? What do you really think those were? So no, I think if you're averaging 500, you're killing boxing on Amazon's thing. You're the big dogs, and Al Heyman ain't shit. He's been nothing but hot air. This guy told me he had the face of boxing. The fucking kid can't bring 200,000 people to the TV. That's what it is.
Interesting.
Hey, let me tell you guys something. I don't know shit. I'm just going to tell you this. De La Hoya don't got no fucking 15 pay-per-views in him. He doesn't. His company does not have it. Eddie Hearn does not have 15 fucking pay-per-views in him. He doesn't. PBC does not have 15 fucking pay-per-views in them. They don't have it. It has to be the UFC. It really does. That's all there is. The UFC puts pay-per-views on with guys with losses. They put on pay-per-views with people with 3 fights and shit. The fans just keep buying the same shit. In boxing, we're not like that. It's not like that, dude. The pay-per-view prices are way higher. Or I don't know. They might even be the same. I'm not going to call you fans dumb. I'm just saying, in boxing, you got to try a little harder to get a pay-per-view sale. In the UFC, you just got to put UFC on the fucking thing and everyone buys it. Your fan base, not you, Miguel. I'm talking UFC fan base. So that that's the pool that they have.
But they do it. They get the one, and boxing can't.
I know.
Right now, if boxing can't do, I mean, shit. When was the last time?
But boxing can do 1.4 million buys in one night. They can do that. Saul Alvarez can generate more money than the greatest UFC card to ever be put together. Got outplayed by one dude. Made $20 million more than your whole fucking company? Get out of here. That's boxing. It's a rich man sport.
Do you think that will cover a year? Like, you think doing that once means, all right, boom, the rest of the year? Because, I mean, clearly no. If we're not gonna, if we can only see Canelo twice a year, those are great numbers, but it's only twice a year.
But I'm saying for Canelo, that's great.
Yeah.
Any UFC fighter wishes he was Canelo Alvarez. They don't wish they were the UFC. They wish they were Canelo.
Yeah.
So that's the dream they're chasing. Boxing, they actually can fulfill that for their fighters. If you are one of the top guys in boxing, ticket seller, face, you're going to make a lot of money here. Even Terrence Crawford made $20 million once in his career, right? We know he did it with Spence. So as long as you make it in this sport, you will get paid. And that's the difference between the boxing and the UFC. UFC, they're doing good. They get a lot of their fights. I get all that. They're underpaid tremendously. I feel sorry. What happened to that girl and what happened to that dude the other day was both very sad. You see that girl's scar? Is that ever going to heal, Miguel?
It'll heal, but I mean, it's going to be there. It's going to be a scar forever.
It's going to be a scar forever, right?
Sure,
dude,
yeah.
That thing's big, man. Fuck, That's so sad. That's a big ass scar. That's a big ass scar. Hey, even Tim Zoo looked good in the photo that you
Oh
have
yeah,
with him.
yeah.
The shit's gone, bro.
Yeah, well, it's in his hairline, so like it's hard to see because he kind of shuts our hair the way we do. You know, we kind of cut our hair the way we do. So even then, because I mean, and that part of your head, and I actually asked him. By the way, guys, I forgot to actually give you guys a heads up. I make it to the open workout or the media workout that Tim Zoo had here in Vegas, and I wanted to give you guys the heads up so you guys can go and check out the videos. I just forgot to mention it, but it's there now, and he's gonna be fighting this weekend. So if you guys want to go check out, I asked him about the cut. I asked him specifically, about I made it a short on our YouTube channel, so guys, make sure to go check it out. But basically, I asked him about the cut, saying like back then in March, he was asked about the cut by media, and he said no comment. So several months later, I asked him about it, and he was like, it's a nasty cut. It's one of those once in a while kind of things. Like it just hit a vein or near a vein that really nobody could have controlled. They did all they could do. I don't blame the cut man. So that's the direction he was going. But anyway, yes, that cut. It's in his hairline, like kind of in his scalp. So the hair kind of covers it up. So I really you can't see it, but
Yeah.
I don't know how deep into the hairline it is. But it looks fine. It looks like it's healed at this point. And it'll be fighting this weekend on Amazon Prime. But yeah, so make sure to go check out that video. But yes, that scar on that homegirl, that's gonna be there. That's gonna be there for good. Yeah, no doubt about that.
So I definitely think the rumors might be right that the UFC might be going to Amazon. I'm gonna go ahead and throw my name in that hat because I can't see boxing fulfilling that kind of pay-per-view. One, ESPN's already got Top Rank. Unless their Top Rank is leaving ESPN, I don't know what their contract looks like, but I highly doubt even ESPN, even Bob has 15 pay-per-views. Because, Miguel, you got to think, it's 15 pay-per-views plus the rest of your fights that you're not just going to turn into a pay-per-view company. So he's still going to have all these. Yeah. So yeah, and then look at how many PBC fights have they put out this year? 3? That's nowhere near 15. You're kind of behind the ball on whoever's coming up next, Al, because we're in October, bro. You put on like 3 fights. They got a new girlfriend saying she'll give him a hand job fucking 15 times.
Yeah, telling you she got 2 hands. So wow. All right.
Yeah.
That seems to be the rumor. So maybe that goes down. Moving
That'll
on.
suck.
Right. Moving on. Let's. I did want to mention something. Last week, during the intro of our show, I mentioned that I was going to. We're going to talk about the rumored co-feature with Canelo Alvarez and Inoue. I forgot to mention it because I got so caught up in the rest of the fucking conversation that we're talking and we had to kind of cut the short because Andrew had his birthday with his boys, so we kind of tried to make it a little bit short. Didn't have as much time as we normally do. But to some degree, I'm kind of glad I didn't actually mention that because now it's coming out that it actually might be just a fucking rumor and nothing else. This is an article that I pulled up here recently. Apparently, this is not going to go down. I'm going to see if I can pull it up here. So the star-studded, this is an article from ESPN, a website called Essentially Sports. It says, however, the star-studded lineup proved to be too good to be true, as ESPN's Salvador Rodriguez officially debunked the rumors. In a tweet yesterday, Rodriguez tweeted, "Although Canelo team have shown their interest in fighting in Japan, it is not true in regards to him on the co-feature with Inoue. As reporters at the time, some cited that he will fight in December in the land of the rising sun. His return is expected in May." So from what we understand, and mind you, a part of what brought the rumors up is that we're going to have Canelo in Japan supporting his countryman, and he was there. The camera panned over to him for last night's or this morning's fights. He might even be there for this coming event as well. So the fact that he's over there, kind of sort of branching his brand over there, kind of led more to that rumor that he's going to have a co-feature with Inoue. Now that's being shot down, saying that actually isn't going to go down. So I'm kind of glad that I didn't bring up that conversation last week, because apparently, now this is according to this guy, Salvador Rodriguez, who's like a Spanish news anchor or broadcaster for ESPN. So the dude is in the know, right? I mean, so I guess we have to assume that maybe he's telling the truth. I don't know, but I thought I'd throw that in there because there's a lot of rumors about that co-feature happening on Christmas Eve, as a matter of fact, in December in Japan. Apparently, from what we're being told, that's not true. So
what?
Squash rumor, yeah.
Too much money involved.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And then who's gonna make $1 before you pay those 2 guys? Right?
And what
Or after, excuse me, after you pay those two
right, yeah,
guys.
you know what you mean. So and then also like the man over there in Japan obviously is Inoue. He's gonna have to be demoted to co-main event, like because it ain't gonna be
Yeah, it's just not
Canelo's
a
not gonna
good.
be the co-main
Yeah.
event, right? I mean, that's kind of that's it seemed a little bit too good to be true, yeah. But I mean, from what I can tell here, clearly it isn't gonna be happening. So anyway, just thought I'd throw that in there and get that debunk out of the way. Okay. One of the other things that we heard this weekend and or earlier this week, I should say, the recent announcement of another PBC pay-per-view. I'm glad that we have so much information to talk about and so much news, and none of it has to do with Ryan Garcia. But anyway, um, we have Sebastian Fundora is going to be defending his belts against one Errol Spence Jr. This looks like it's going to happen in January of 2025. From what it seems, uh, uh, the number one pound for pound dude on anyone's list, Crawford, decided to take a back seat and step aside. Maybe there was some step aside money, I don't know. But he stepped aside and said, cool, I'll go ahead and let this fight take place. Because keep in mind, the WBO did say that they were going to order Fundora and Crawford. Now that's out the window. Now we have Fundora and Spence. PBC pay-per-view January 2025. Also, on that night, I guess serving as co-main event, we have David Benavidez taking on David Morrell at light heavyweight, of course. Now, there was some stuff that I heard about that fight that it was going to happen, it wasn't going to happen. We did hear that Benavidez was going to fight against Jesse Hart, I believe it was. So there's a lot of like information slash misinformation that we were reading. As a matter of fact, I want to say even David Benavidez at one time tweeted that his rumored fight with Morrell was not going to happen. He said, no, I'm going to fight Jesse Hart, yada yada. Well, I guess not. So apparently, PBC announced it. What do you think about this one here?
My honest opinion is a PBC driven fight. David Morrell, he's nothing that's going to raise the bar for Benavidez. I mean, come on, 11-0-9, not a champion, right? Never fought a champion. I mean, at least when Crawford fought the WBA champ, yeah, he was 10-0, but he was still the champ. David Morrell, like you guys, this fight is totally. This is all being given to you by Al Heyman, the motor of the PBC. David Morrell is nothing but hot air. There's nothing here to be like, oh, I'm so excited. What, is he a gold medal winner? What, does he have 300 amateur wins that I don't know about and was an 11-time national champion and was going to win the Olympics but was robbed? Do they have the robbery like Roy Jones Jr. of him in the getting the gold? If not, why the fuck am I excited about David fucking Morrell? I don't get it.
You're not a little excited? No.
Bro, tell me the fight that I'm supposed to be watching that makes me go, dude, this kid, did you see when he lit up? David Morrell is only known because he's been on hella PBC undercards with all those fucking fanboys acting like he was the next big Puerto Rican thing.
Sure.
We know what the PBC was nothing but its own propaganda fucking tool. They didn't even show fighters that weren't signed under the PBC. Fuck them. And fuck anything they say. David Morrell, you ain't shit. Have you ever fought a top-ranked guy? Probably not. Probably been fighting little Al Heyman bitches your whole career, huh? Oh, only 11 of them, and now I'm supposed to think you're going to fight the champ? Please. Please. What did you do as an amateur? Why am I supposed to get excited about David Benavidez and David Morrell? The floor is yours, Miguel.
Okay. Well, this is my only thing. Number one, because we know that David Morrell was, or at least the PBC is billing them up as hot shit, right? Oftentimes PBC does this, right? They don't have their guys fight. I mean, they have their guys fight each other, but they don't have the good guys fight each other. In other words, if we look at like how long it took for Benavidez to fight somebody like Plant, it took for fucking ever, even though both guys were going after Canelo. They did the same thing with Morrell, right? Morrell has been clamoring, saying that he's been chasing a fight with Canelo, saying that he wanted it even from when he was at 168. And everybody's like, dude, no, you don't fucking deserve a fight with Canelo, yada yada, right? Fight somebody else, fight some other big name. Well, finally we get it. From now he's fighting David Benavidez. Same thing on Benavidez' side. He's trying to make his claim for now 175, saying he could potentially fight the winner of Bivol and Beterbiev. Now that the fight was as close as it was, and we might potentially get some sort of rematch, it's going to be a while before either one of them is going to be available. So Benavidez takes another fight in the meantime. Of course, I think this fight is better than at least the Jesse Hart fight. Is that not an upgrade?
Jesse Hart, I don't know, dude. He's 11-0. Pay-per-view, fuck no. Fuck no. Pay-per-view, 11-0, David Morrell, and I just looked up his record. All 36-year-old men, it seems like he's fought in, all from other countries. No one from America. If he wins, I hope it's the start of a great career, but I'm going to tell you, I didn't think highly of this fight going in. So if David Benavidez fucking walks through this kid, because he's still a kid at 11-0 with no amateur pedigree. My whole thing about, when Loma and all these guys come out and go for titles really early, it's usually because they're years of being Olympics, multiple being to multiple Olympics, maybe even medaling multiple times. The background of fighting is they're number one, right? They've been number one their whole career and they're amateur. Now they're going to be pros because they're fucking 30 and they've been fighting the amateurs their whole year. David Morrell is none of this. Why are they rushing this kid? What, you want to get him a check? Because it's not a title. When you build someone up, you usually start with the little titles and work their way up. Why aren't you starting with the little title? Are you nervous about something, or you just want to go for that check? Then, yeah, take a L, whatever. Fuck it, as long as you got $1 million. Is that what we're going for? Because I think his career would be a lot bigger if he built himself up to David Benavidez. Right now, you're a sacrificial lamb. Fuck out of here. This is not a real legit. You guys can't even tell me why he's ranked number one at 11-0 with nothing behind him. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man.
That doesn't move the needle for you at all. None. I mean, do you think it's better than the?
That's why I gave you the thumbs down when you said you seen. Yeah. I gave it the thumbs down. Like, bro, David Morrell, come on. They did that. They did that to try to act like they were giving us the fight we wanted. Who did they announce him to fight? David Benavidez fight, and then he's like, "Oh no, I went to my team and told them I want Morrell." Get the fuck out of here! Like Morrell wasn't your first option. He has 11 fights, David. 11. You know how green this fucking kid is? You're gonna probably flinch, and he's gonna move. The fuck out of here.
Well, so here's the thing. David Morrell is 26. Jesse Hart is 35. Do you think, at the very least, he'll be a more he'll hang in there longer? You don't think he'll hang in there longer than somebody like Jesse Hart, who's at 35?
Is that the guy he was supposed to fight?
Yeah, 28-3.
Yes, that was their trick from the whole beginning. Is for you to say exactly what you're saying right now. You are gonna take in this opponent because he's better than what they were gonna face. Fuck that. David, I thought you were already the face of boxing. You've been on pay. Why is he on pay-per-view? When's he going to start fighting pay-per-view like opponents, right? Because who was his first one? Was it Andrade?
It might have been Plant. I think he got Plant first, and then he got Andrade, yeah.
Okay, good. Those are two good names. If they want to say this one's like a build-up fight for someone, then they should have pitched it that way. But don't tell me David Morrell is better than Andrade or Plant. We're supposed to be going up, not going down. And going to Morrell, in my opinion, is way down on the fucking the contender rankings. David Morrell is not up there in the top 5 with me. You're just fighting guys in the top 5. Why are we going fucking backwards? I don't want anything to do with the PBC and that bullshit, man. The whole Tank Davis bullshit they've been feeding us with that. They're doing the same thing with David Benavidez right here. David, you deserve a big fight. Start putting your fucking foot down and demanding a big fight from someone. Don't give me this bullshit about the 11-0 guys. This is my dream fight. You know, when I go to sleep, I think of David Morrell. Fuck out of here, liars.
All right. Well, since you're not excited about that one,
who's the main event?
Fundora and Spence.
Oh,
that changed your fucking opinion real quick.
I thought it was Tank. I thought it was the Tank. They were going to bring him back to Tank.
It's well, they said it's going to be January 2025, and I think Tank fights in December. So it's going to be Spence and Fundora. Number one, I guess I'm going to ask your opinion on this. Number one, what do you think about that fight? And like, why aren't we seeing Fundora and Spence? The WBO ordered it, and for some reason, I mean, not Spence, Crawford, I meant to say. Why aren't we seeing Fundora and Crawford? The WBO ordered it. Crawford stepped aside and said, let's go ahead and do this. What's your thinking on that? Why did that happen?
Real quick, it's because PBC couldn't guarantee the same money His Excellency could for fighting possibly Virgil Ortiz next. So he's getting forced into that with Crawford so they could land Shakur and Cepeda. If you've been seeing De La Hoya, it hella seems like he's been pitching Cepeda to His Excellency as a package deal that Virgil Ortiz must face Crawford. And His Excellency liked that fight. So I think if he's interested in doing Shakur and Cepeda, he would pay to get Crawford and Virgil on the same card. He's going to do that card. Crawford ain't walking away from that money to go fight fucking Fundora on Amazon and maybe you make some money, maybe you don't kind of deal.
Wait, hold on. I'm trying to patch all these things together. So you're saying that De La Hoya has been pitching Cepeda and
Ortiz to His Excellency.
Okay, for Cepeda to fight
Shakur,
right? And for Virgil to fight
Crawford.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
And His Excellency liked it. He even said, that's the next fight I'm going to do. He told that to Oscar. Now, this was a while ago. I don't know what happened about if that's the next fight they're going to do. But I know if he's going to get Cepeda, he's going to bring Virgil with them. So even if and I think Virgil's would fight Crawford. I think it's going to be Crawford and Virgil. I think it's going to be them that's going to get announced, and that's why you seen Crawford. Crawford don't need titles, man. He needs money. He's 36 years old. He just had the fight with fucking Spence. It did nothing for his career. He's still not a household name. The assholes on UFC proved that by calling him Kendrick fucking Lamar the other day, right? They wouldn't have done that to Floyd. So obviously, maybe they were clowning him, but they had the room to clown him because he really isn't a household name. In his very next fight, he only made $2.5 million after making $20 million. Floyd never did that bullshit. So right now, Terrence needs guaranteed money. That's His Excellency. That's His Excellency going, I don't give a fuck about Fundora. I want you to fight Virgil. Boom, he's fighting Virgil. Spence is nothing but a sacrificial lamb to Fundora. Look at you guys. The guy couldn't pass a physical. And all of a sudden now he can pass physical? What doctor just signed off on this? They're like, cover your eye.
Yeah.
Hey, are you ready? Okay, we're going to do the test now. Go ahead and read them to me.
Oh man, it's like he's gonna tell me like, how many fingers am I holding, and then like move it over to the good eye. Like, how many fingers am I holding? All right. So Spence is a sacrificial lamb. Okay. So Crawford, because this is what I was thinking. I thought Crawford was gonna take some money, step aside, right? Say like, all right, boom, I'll be fine. I know that, and this is what I'm thinking. And everybody's saying this. Spence is a shot fighter. Spence is no longer the same, right? Besides the car accident, besides his eye issue, besides the ass whooping that he received at the hands of Crawford, he's a shot guy, right? He's a shot dude. And going in there with Fundora is going to make Fundora look even better when he mops the floor with him. And then we have a much more enticing fight down the line with Fundora and Crawford. Are you saying that Crawford doesn't gonna give two fucks about that potential fight? It's like, I know I can make more money over here with maybe Virgil Ortiz. Fuck Fundora and his belts.
After Virgil Ortiz, he will ask His Excellency, what's next? What's next, boss? Hey, you guys, this is headed towards Mr. Ali Sheik owning everything. This is where this whole thing is heading. Heading. I told you from the very beginning. I'm sticking to that, and it looks like it's playing out that way with Terrence Crawford now giving up title shots because he wants to just wait. Bullshit. He's not waiting. No one gave him a few bucks. The guy makes $1 million when he steps in the ring. No step aside money is going to make up for that, in my opinion. There's another fight that's on the table that's guaranteed that probably makes him, if not more, the same money as his risk taking of let's go to pay-per-view and you guys are going to sell a lot. Don't even worry about it. I'll give you 35% instead of 20%. Don't even worry about it. That shit, no way, dude. No way. Or nobody should be fighting for without a guaranteed purse of what they're worth to this sport. You are worth more than a fucking fraction of a pay-per-view. Boxing has always been a prize fighting thing. You fight for a prize. You don't fight for fucking, maybe there's an IOU in here. Maybe you guys will make this. You know what I mean? No way. Bullshit. That's for low budget fighters like guys with missing one eye and Fundora, who doesn't have a fan base. I'm sorry. Fundora's an excellent kid. Like the kid a lot. No one fucking knows him. He doesn't have a fan base. So I think if anything, that's what they maybe have to do is up his status in the boxing world. So you give him the fight with Spence, you put it on PBC. Hopefully the PBC fan base, because they used to have a fan base. Floyd left that man in great shape. He fucked it all off. I'm saying. But he was left in great. All of Floyd's fans were all into the PBC when Floyd first retires. So he had a fan base. They're trying to build up his audience with that viewership with that audience, and then they'll go back to the table with Terrence. But at that time, Miguel, honestly, I think he's already in cahoots with His Excellency on whatever His Excellency tells him he's gonna do. Nobody outpays that man. He is now the ruler. Yeah, it's just headed that way. It really is, and there's nothing anyone can do about it because there's no money. They don't have enough money.
So, do you think that? Well, because I see what you're saying in the direction, the path that Crawford is going to most likely go through. But is the weight? Well, I mean, is the weight worth it? Because he's not a spring chicken, right?
He's going to get paid.
He's going to get paid. Yeah, well, he might. I mean, there's a chance he will, because right now, no.
Wait a minute. I'm talking with Virgil though.
Right. But right now, I mean, what we said. Remember how you said like what Oscar was saying some time ago, a month ago, or whenever the hell it was, about having Cepeda and Virgil as a package deal potentially with Virgil and Crawford. That was before Virgil and Majimov, or what the fuck was not Majimov.
Yeah, Bukas or some shit. Yeah.
So it's like, is that on the table? Because right now, I'm not sure. I mean, again, he's not as young as he used to be. So waiting for the potential big payday with Ortiz, that's not a guarantee. He knows that he can get a fight with Fundora, in the near future. So why wouldn't that be like, okay, yeah, granted, it might not be the hundreds of million or however much, not hundreds of million, multi-million that could potentially come with His Excellency and Virgil Ortiz. But that's not a guarantee. It's almost like it's almost a for sure thing with Fundora, because on top of the fact that the WBO has said that fight is ordered. When you say
it's a for sure thing, what are you talking about? It's for sure the fight.
Crawford and Fundora. That was supposed to be the thing before Spence got in the picture, because Crawford stepped aside and said, "Cool, we'll have that fight first, and then I'll get the winner because the WBO ordered it." Pretty much. I'm not entirely sure if the reason he's stepping aside is a big money fight with Ortiz. Because I don't even know that's even a close. Which of the two is most likely to happen? We almost had him and Fundora, but it didn't happen because here comes Spence. So he's like, cool, I'll wait for the winner. As of right now, there's no talks. Well, I mean, very little talks of him potentially with Ortiz.
I don't think there's a lot of talking. There's no negotiating with His Excellency, bro. I don't think there's negotiating, Miguel. I really don't. I think that man calls you. He gives you a price. He asks your answer right then and there. And you either say yes to it or no. But everything that we've seen off of His Excellency, Ali Sheik. I don't know the fuck. What's his name? Turkey Ali.
Turkey.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Turkey.
we just call him his first name, Turkey. We don't have to call
All
him.
right, Turkey. Everything we've seen off of this man seems like he is not in it to negotiate. There is no back and forth. You tell me what you want, I'll tell you what I want. It's his way or you're fucking out. And he's already done. He did it to Tank. He did it to fucking Canelo, and he did it to Zoo. Literally, don't even need to work with them. Went on with life. So I think Terrence Crawford got a price that he liked, right? Because the PBC cannot offer guaranteed $5 million. They couldn't offer it. They cannot do that right now. We know that for a fact because they keep doing these pay-per-views, and they have no steady fights on Netflix because they keep telling us he's broke. So who gives a shit about a title? I need $5 million. I don't need a title. Terrence has all the titles in the world. He's already a legend. He's already a Hall of Famer.
But wouldn't $5 million like now be good? It was like, oh, maybe $5 million.
I think that's what he's gonna get. I think that is what he's gonna get for Virgil. I'm telling you, I think that's what he was. He was offered something guaranteed by them that PBC couldn't match. So he said, fuck it, I'll step aside. Maybe Fundora and Spence have a great fight that all the PBC fans watch. It's the next day. They're all talking about how great either Spence looked or Fundora looked. And boy, man, I wish Terrence would fight him. Then they can go back because Terrence won't be signed. I don't think he'll be signed with Turkey. But as long as that man is offering millions of dollars and opponents, dude, the first guy he offered him had 10 fights. That was easy work for Terrence Crawford. It was fucking easy. Made $2.5 million like in a sparring match. Give him Virgil Ortiz might be in his mind might be another easy fight. Why the fuck am I gonna fight this 6 foot? How tall is Fundora? 6 foot?
6'6". I think it's
6. Yeah. Why the fuck am I gonna fight this guy when I can fight Virgil Ortiz, who's nothing but hot air? They keep pumping this guy up. He hasn't shown shit. I'm gonna walk through him. Could be looking at it that way, but either way, I believe Terrence Crawford stepped away from that fight with Fundora because he already has something on the table that's guaranteed with Turkey Ali Sheik. And if Al Heyman don't get his shit together, nobody's going to give a fuck about Fundora's titles anymore because in boxing right now, it's who's making money. We have a terrible problem of people not making money. These pay-per-views are not selling. The money's really low right now.
That's exactly what I was going to tell you. Do you think His Excellency is really offering somebody like Crawford that like if he really did take something like or is willing to accept something from His Excellency and saying fuck Spence and Fundora, I'm over here potentially making some money. According to what I'm seeing here, Crawford and Madrimov did between 75,000 to 100,000 pay-per-view buys. That ain't shit. Do you think His Excellency is willing to fork up more money? We said earlier he's losing money. To say, all right, Crawford, I'm gonna have you and Virgil Ortiz. Like,
with
do you think
with De La Hoya, with Cepeda and Shakur being on that same card, I think it's an excellent fight card. That Oscar's a good promoter. Oscar can sell, and I think he sold that. The Mexicans will buy into this fight, and I do believe they will. Him and his last opponent, some white dude that no one fucking knew, didn't sell. But that's some white dude that nobody knew. The opponent that Virgil might be fighting in Dallas Stadium next year is the best fighter in the world. You don't think a bunch of Mexicans from Texas are showing up for that? Come on. And Shakur and Cepeda might be on the same card? Come on. We're talking about 100,000 fucking people might be at that fight. You don't think Oscar's telling them that? And I almost guarantee you the Mexicans will show up. If 46,000 showed up for Saul Alvarez versus who did he fight in Texas where 40-something thousand showed up? He fought at Dallas Stadium. He fought at Dallas Stadium. Jerry Jones. And it was like 46 or 48,000 people were there.
Oh, I don't remember.
It'll come to me. But it happened. Yeah. I can guarantee you that Oscar gave His Excellency that same talk. we can do it again with these four names. And I believe them. I believe those four names would generate a hell of a live gate at whatever stadium they put it on. You could take that shit to LA. You could take it to fucking Texas. You could take it to the East Coast. I think Shakur versus Cepeda and Virgil versus Crawford is a sellout. Hands down.
Okay. All
It's
right.
the
Well,
names, Miguel. It's the names. It's
well,
Virgil
so
fighting the pound for pound
right.
guy.
Do you think Virgil, like, well, for example, Virgil in his most recent fight, that he was looking bad. He was looking bad. And he had to come back in the end, right? Did his stock rise with that? Because I mean, I'm having my doubts, especially with how hard it was for Virgil to get butts in seats for that particular fight. And again, maybe like you said, it's the names and it's the opponent that didn't do it. But that I'm having a hard time thinking that or believing that His Excellency is willing to just fork up the money and be like, all right, cool, boom, we're gonna get Crawford and we're gonna get, and yes, we're gonna also have Shakur and everything, but how much is Shakur going to demand? How much is Cepeda going to demand? I mean, I don't think Cepeda has enough of a name to be, demanding much, but Shakur definitely will. Those three names, Shakur, Crawford, and Ortiz on one card. I mean, it would have to be Texas. Shit. I mean, I don't know what
A
else.
good live gate can generate 10 to 12 million, I think. A good live gate with those four names. Easily, bro. And Dallas with 50,000 buying. I think Oscar could pitch this fight correctly to His Excellency, maybe got his heads turned. We will see. I don't see Terrence Crawford stepping aside. What other reason would he have stepped aside for? It doesn't make any sense that he wants to help Spence out. I mean,
No,
he's
well, no. That's
36.
what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it just makes for a bigger, and again, it's a more money fight. It makes for a bigger fight. Fundora looked, like shit, even though he came up winning against Tim
Zoo.
Tszyu, right? So he's got the bells. Cool. He goes into his next fight, and I don't know how much of a fan base he's gonna have, but let's say he fights Spence first. And as what everybody's saying, Spence is totally shot, and Fundora comes and mops the floor with him. And now we have Fundora looking way fucking bigger. He just beat Spence, whose only other loss was to Crawford. Okay, now that makes Fundora look like hot shit now. And then boom, now we have Fundora and Crawford in a much more bigger money fight than it would have been otherwise. Is that too far fetched?
I think it's too far. I think there's another fight for Terrence before Fundora. Because
a big enough money fight for him to.
Yeah, because when is Fundora and Spence fighting? What is the date on that?
January, I think it said January 2025. Let me just double check that. But I'm almost certain it was January.
And then they wouldn't fight for another 6 months, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a long time for Terrence to be sitting on the bench at 36. Nah, I don't know, man. We're gonna see. It's something we'll definitely bring up again. But I'm gonna put my name in the hat of Terrence Crawford's already got a fight with Ollie with Turkey.
Yeah.
And the PBC just can't guarantee the same. So they have to generate. They got to generate a pay-per-view fighter to try to attract Terrence back over to them. Unless has His Excellency bought Al Heyman fighters yet? Do any of their guys fight? Because David Garcia and them, they fought on Canelo's undercard, and that was all PBC. That had nothing to do with His Excellency.
I don't think so. I'm trying to think of any of PBC guys who have left. Most of the PBC guys who have left were.
And no, I would want them still signed with Al. I want to know if Al Heyman is actually giving guys to his, like what Eddie Hearn and De La Hoya and Top Rank are doing now. Even Top Rank's doing it. They gave him Tyson Fury, basically.
Oh, I see what you mean. No, probably no. I mean, not that I can think of right offhand.
Until Al Heyman starts doing that, then I would see, maybe that.
I don't think he'll do that though.
I
don't anticipate him ever doing that.
Well,
especially with all the shit that we've known about, BBC and Floyd himself saying that, when he was promoting or with Tank saying that he wanted in-house fights, that's pretty much PBC's MO. I doubt they're gonna ever work. I mean, they're gonna probably
basically. And you're right. All the guys that made a stink with His Excellency, Zoo, Canelo, and Tank all have what in common?
They're all PBC dudes.
PBC
All
guys.
PBC dudes.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah,
and I
no,
wouldn't be surprised if that is one of the reasons, because as of right now, it seemed at least as though Tim Zhu, for example, was saying like, let me talk to my people, and maybe His Excellency thought, talk to who your people, Al Heyman? No, fuck this, I'm out of here. But bye, So immediately was like already starting to burn that bridge. So it doesn't seem as though His Excellency isn't trying. It looks like he is trying to do exactly what he's done with Top Rank and Matchroom and all them shits. And Golden Boy, and PBC is the one that's not playing ball. That's
I mean, you
what else is
guys.
being shit?
There was another sign of the times that are coming with His Excellency was in the middle of the main event. Both of those men are not his fighters. Why is he holding the title?
Well, he doesn't have fighters. He doesn't really have fighters.
Exactly.
That's the thing.
So why isn't the promoters behind the guy who built those men? Because they don't have the money. The money man is standing behind them. That's who all these fighters are going to start answering their calls to. There's going to be a time where His Excellency is going to tell these guys, I don't even want you answering his call. If he calls you, don't answer it. I'll get my lawyers on it. Don't worry about it. And these guys are going to go.
Who's going to call it?
I'm telling you, there's going to be a time where Turkey is going to tell these men to stop answering Eddie Hearn, De La Hoya, Bob Arum, Al Heyman's, their fucking phone calls. Don't even answer it. You just work with us. And they're going to do it because he's the money. Our sport is hurt right now. We don't have a platform. And this guy, they all say, dude, he bought the PGA, right? Didn't they try to do their own PGA tour thing?
Oh, shit. I don't know. I don't remember hearing that.
That was the first thing Saudi went after, was the PGA Tour, where they started signing American guys that were leaving the PGA Tour. And that started pissing off a lot of people in the golf community here in the States. So they started with that shit. Now they're doing F1 racing. You hear about that track that they're making out there? The F1 track?
No.
It's supposed to go in the sky, Miguel. They're going to have a track. Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
we're going there with it.
Yeah.
So they're, they're trying to take over. And, I definitely think that because he's worth more than every promoter combined. And our promoters don't even work together. So they're all broke compared to him. You know what I'm saying? Like and I don't knock it. Do I like it? No, I don't want every fight going to Saudi Arabia. You know what I mean? I don't want to.
It wouldn't though, would it? I mean, like, I'm sure they'll have something over there, but I mean, I'm sure we're gonna I don't think he's gonna go to New York or Vegas or anything.
I think they've already missed out on some big fights that should have been in Las Vegas. The heavyweight fights should have all been in Las Vegas. They would have made a ton more money, probably at the live gate. Definitely the fight last weekend shouldn't have been there, or yesterday, excuse me. The Bivol and Beterbiev should not have been there. That crowd did not look like it showed up for those two guys the way Canada or Russia would have somewhere else. So
could His Excellency be kind of greedy in that sense? Like, is it, for example, like, let's say Vegas, that brings a lot of money to the casinos. Is it that he just doesn't want to bring more money for somebody else, and he's like, fuck that, this is supposed to be for me. Let's take this out of the Madison Square Garden, or take it out of Vegas, or take it out of, because he did go to Los Angeles, right? I think it was for Crawford and Madrimov, right? So there's something. Granted, it's not a big fight, but it's I guess it's a test. Could it be? Because I mean, that's what happens when you come to Vegas, right? I mean, there's gonna be some casino money. It's gonna bring some people to them. Could that be like, no, I ain't trying to fucking bring business to somebody else. All that shit needs to come to me.
The business is supposed to go to Saudi Arabia. That's why they're bringing the F1 there. That's why they tried to bring the PGA Tour. I don't know if you guys noticed this. Those are both rich ass sports. You gotta be a rich motherfucker to do F1. Anyone know that? You got to be you didn't know about F1? Those cars are worth millions of dollars. Bro, those cars shit on NASCARs. NASCAR.
Okay.
The F1, did you see in Monaco, all the yachts there was yachts pulling up with helicopters and Lamborghinis on them, Miguel. Why the fuck do you need a Lamborghini on a yacht? Yet that's what's out there at the F1 races. You do not see that at NASCAR. There will be no yacht. There might be a RV. There might be a big wheel, but you're getting no yachts with fucking helicopters and Lamborghinis on them. No. So that's the F1 audience, right? That's why it didn't really do good in Las Vegas. There's not that many rich people in America give shit about F1 racing. That's why I didn't do. They needed a lot of the international money to come in to make that work over there in Las Vegas. Golf. You ever bought a golf club? You ever seen how much those things? Oh, it's
I have seen that. I've never bought it.
It's myself. A very rich man sport, dude. Golf. So, anyways, it's not a coincidence what they're trying to bring to Saudi Arabia. Money. They're trying to bring money there. So no, in my opinion, he's a promoter that does not look to be traveling. He doesn't want to travel. He wants you guys to come to him. He wants the tourists to come to Saudi Arabia to put money into their place. That's why Saudi Arabia got into sports, in my opinion. If you look at what they've been doing, they're getting in it. Like, what is Vegas doing right now? What the fuck? We all know gambling, sports gambling is great, but gambling overall is thinning out because everyone has a casino now. Indians have casinos, other states have casinos, other countries. Dude, did you see who else is building? Is Dubai building a casino? I think Dubai is building a casino, bro. Seriously, you gotta look that shit up. But once they're it's either. I think. Oh, dude, they had 2 girls fighting this weekend in Saudi Arabia. No, things are changing, Miguel. Things are changing. At the what was it? Where was it? The World Cup. Did you see when they started selling beer?
Oh no, I didn't.
Yeah, bro. So they were like, no beer. There's no alcohol. We don't do alcohol in this country. Blah 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 blah. Motherfucking Budweiser was like, I don't know, hella guys threw a shit fit. Then all the fucking fans were like, what do you mean there's no beer? Dude, they started shipping beer in. Beer was then being sold.
They did that shit in Brazil too. They were saying, they were like, no, too much drunk driving, yada yada. And Budweiser or Bud Light, where the fuck it was, did the exact same thing. And they're like, all right, and just like that. No, yeah, I mean that makes sense, but I don't know, because like I think I want to agree with you when you say like there's going to be a point where fighters are just going to basically call His Excellency directly. But the fact that Turkey doesn't know as much as, a boxing as a promoter would know to be able to promote a fight, I don't think he knows jack shit about that. I think he's going to have them. Now, maybe he's not going to need 5, but he's going to have at least 1. Don't you think? Like, there's going to be at least 1 promoter who's running the shit.
He'll need a Lou DiBella to HBO. Is that what you're saying? Remember when Lou, like in the 90s, Lou was HBO executive, and that's when they said boxing was at its finest, because Lou was he was a boxing promoter. He was like, fuck that fight. I don't want that fight. You're giving me this fight. And he always would put on the best for HBO. So it was Steven Espinoza was HBO too, right? Before he went to Showtime?
Yes.
Espinoza starts under, So Turkey Ali needs to find one of them men. He needs to find himself a DiBella or Espinoza. He needs
a Muhammad DiBella or something.
It could be because he's such a what is it? A whore for attention. His Lou DiBella might be Oscar De La Hoya. For some reason, Oscar still has a great thing at selling these fights. He makes fighters. Oscar can make superstars. He can't hold on to them, or he can't make their reign last long, but he can make a superstar. He can get you
if
there.
He has the pockets of
exactly.
If he connects himself with, because he knows what he's doing with, if he's the one that's signing the checks, even though the fucking bank account is connected to what's his face, I think they'd have a much easier time sticking with him in the long run, in the much longer run. I mean,
Eddie is out because of his track record.
Eddie's out. Bob is too old, right?
Yeah.
Frank Warren is probably on the way out. He's more over there in the UK. Al is nowhere to be found.
Hey, why aren't you gonna say what's wrong with Al?
I want to throw that in here, but I wasn't sure if like you wanted to go in that direction. But let me see if I can.
And I'm not laughing about the situation. I was laughing at Miguel for not throwing it in, but he got some news on Al.
Yes. This is what. Let me see if I can just pull it up here real quick. This is again going back to our good buddy Rick Glazer, who likes to tweet regularly, right? And I tend to follow the majority of his things here. So this is what he said recently. He said, most know about the disdain for Al Heyman and PBC, for his disdain for them. But I have now confirmed he is very ill. My sincere prayers for Al Heyman, and a bunch of other comments behind that as well. So I don't know what the, what this illness could potentially be, or if this is even true, or what. Because he didn't usually, he likes to throw in every so often my certain source or my inside source or whatever the fuck. He didn't say that specifically. I'm assuming he's talking about somebody. Somebody gave him the heads up, but from what Rick Glazer is saying, and this was, I believe, the 11th, so just a couple of days ago. Apparently, Al Heyman's pretty ill. To what degree, I don't know, but it says he's very ill. Well, I should say he's very ill, but we don't know the illness. We don't know the severity of it. We don't know what specifically is going on, but according to Rick Glazer, he's very ill. So, and maybe that's another reason why, Amazon is like, fuck this, this guy's out the door at this point.
Yeah.
Like we go find somebody else at this point, because, that's I'm sorry, that sucks. Obviously we don't want to wish ill will on anybody necessarily. It's like, if you're gonna don't fuck us over in the sport of boxing. But if they're gonna do that, we're not gonna have very good positive, opinions of them.
We know ESPN did great numbers with Wilder Fury 2. Who else have they done great numbers with?
Because
they had no part of the Ryan Garcia one, right?
No, it was Loma. Who was it? Loma Linares or Loma?
No, I'm saying pay-per-view though.
Oh,
I'm thinking more on the pay-per-view side.
Well, it's been a fucking minute since they've done that. Was their first one ESPN pay-per-view too? No, that was PBC. I was trying to think of Wilder and Fury.
Now we know Pacquiao did a 7 million viewership one time, right? Remember Pacquiao and Jeff Horn, I believe, broke serious numbers on ESPN.
Yeah, I think that's when Pacquiao was like fresh out of pay-per-view.
Yeah. So they've done, and then we've seen the girls did 1 million. Shakur did 1 million.
Yeah, well,
that's what I mean.
None of these are pay-per-view.
No, but this is viewership, and this is ESPN Plus. I'm trying to look at the ESPN Plus thing, and I could have swore there was a pay-per-view that was on ESPN Plus. It wasn't the Canelo. Remember, you were like, you ordered that on ESPN, and I was like, yeah, I got it on the ESPN Plus. And you were all thrown off on why, but boxing's been kind of doing that recently, where they're letting everyone kind of show it. And I don't know if that's because His Excellency has been putting these cards. You know what? That's what I think it was. Big Baby was on one of His Excellency's cards. Big Baby Miller. So ESPN was you could buy that fight through ESPN. Yeah, and it did good numbers.
So then, was that Usyk and Fury? Then because I think that was, or am I getting confused?
And Usyk and Fury might have been on ESPN Plus. Yeah, that one was on ESPN Plus. See, either way, what I'm trying to show is that boxing does have a good viewership ranking, either on ESPN Plus pay-per-view, ESPN Plus, or ESPN viewership, where the UFC does not have that. They don't have those fights, dude, where it's like, oh, they did 1.4 million on that one UFC fight night that they had on there. You've never seen Dana White brag about his viewerships like how boxing does. Top Rank, well, the chicks, and I don't mean to call them chicks, the two girls, Michaela, that's
the young ladies.
Yeah, Michaela, her fight the other day was the highest viewership or whatever. You don't see the UFC doing that with their telecast on ESPN. Maybe behind closed doors, ESPN is like, dude, we gave you guys $1.5 billion. We didn't give that to Top Rank. Why are they giving us $1 million shows? Right? So, so it might be that's why I'm still leaning on UFC is the one going to Amazon. Yeah.
All right. Well, this weekend we have Tim Tszyu on free Amazon Prime. I wish I can fucking pronounce the guy's name. Brockham something. I can't pronounce the last name. The last name's got like 5 syllables. But Tim looked great. Obviously he was working on a nice little sweat for the media workout last weekend. Once again, guys, make sure to check us out. I did ask a question and it's on there. Oh, wait.
Hey, I raised my hand. Hey. He's fighting the guy that gave Ortiz the rough time, right? Isn't that who Tzew's fighting?
No, that's not. No, he's not even fighting that guy. No, that's Tszyu. The guy who gave Ortiz the rough fight is actually fighting. As a matter of fact, I want to say he's fighting Majimov. He's fighting the dude who gave.
There you go. That is it. Majimov. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
fighting
yeah.
the dude who gave Crawford the rough fight. But
Okay.
this is the guy. This dude, basically, when Charlo kind of stepped away, he released all the belts. One of them was picked up by this dude. It should be, I'm gonna say easy, but it should be a win for Tim because this dude was getting hurt by this guy. If you watch his previous fight, Bakram, I can't pronounce the last name, but anyway, his previous fight where he won the IBF, junior middleweight or super welterweight title, he was having a hard time with the guy who was shorter than he was. So this dude was getting hurt by a guy who was shorter. He came back. He ultimately stopped the guy. I don't think it was a decision. I don't think he stopped him. I don't remember right offhand. But nonetheless, this is what I thought, Tim was trying to do. He's trying to pick up a little bit of hardware, get an IBF belt that has a little bit more, leverage, bargaining power when it comes to fighting the winner, maybe even of Fundora and Spence. But I figured I'd throw that in there because, number one, there's some videos on my YouTube channel, guys. Make sure to check it out. The short that I had on there, and then of course also the media workout from Tim Tszyu. And he's fighting this weekend, so I figure, of course, I throw that out to you because we're gonna get some boxing this weekend, and that's who's fighting this weekend. And of course, shout out to to Tim Tszyu and of course Sam Navajero, our very loyal listener who likes to mention likes it when I mention Tim Tszyu and of course a lot of all Australian fighters. All right. Well, that pretty much does it. That goes through all the topics, the information that I wanted to get through. Andrew, was there anything else, any sort of last minute thing that you would like to throw in here? I'm sure we're going to get a nice little throwback, clapback. I can't say throwback, clapback Thursday on Thursday from Oscar de la Hoya that I'm sure we'll bring up next week. But nothing yet. Any sort of last minute stuff that you want to toss in here?
Nope. I'm good.
All
It's
right.
been a long show. I started yawning. Sorry, guys.
That's all right. I figure. I mean, we go from last week's show, an hour and a half, roughly to 2 hours. So, all right. Thank you all for joining us, and I appreciate you guys listening to us ramble about the things that were going on because there was a lot going on this week. So, I want to make sure to cover as much as we possibly can. Make sure to tune in to Amazon Prime this weekend to catch Tim Tszyu in action, and we'll make sure to talk about it next week, of course, amongst every other thing that happens between now and then. So, thank you once more for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you guys next week. Peace.